We are here for round one, and we have one of these sweet opening hands. This is kind of everything. We're short a removal spell, but that's kind of whatever. What makes it so sweet is that we have a lot of decisions. We have Bauble, Street Wraith, and a Fetch Land, and a Thoughtseize. So we got a lot going on. And our opponent is trying to burn us. So maybe the Street Wraith is not a big deal. Oh, dear. Definitely did not need 2 Street Wraiths. Okay. So what are we trying to do here? Sorcery, artifact, creature, traverse, land. Yeah, okay. So we can traverse with Delirium starting on turn 2, which is cool. It's basically what do we do with our Bauble. We're probably going to want to fetch a Blood Crypt. And we'll see whether or not we actually get to cycle this Street Wraith or not. But I think I'm just going to Bauble them so that I have full information. Hopefully this does not crash Moto. Alright, so they have a Boros Charm. That's a really good one. And we Thoughtseize them. Okay, actually this kind of works out alright. So I know that it puts it in the thing, but we're going to screenshot this anyway. And then we're going to write down BC for Boros Charm. So I think to ensure that they don't have anything to do next turn, we might want to take the Rift Bolt. Pretty soon these Eidolons are not really going to be doing anything, so what happens here? We go to 15 from the Thoughtseize. They hit us for 1 down to 14. We fetch a duel. Yeah, this is great. So we take Rift Bolt. Pass the turn. They hit us for 1. And then I think we can just like fetch. I guess we can Street Wraith. Maybe. Yeah, I guess we're not going to. Well, we can Bauble them first, actually, to know if they're going to draw a land. Alright, so they are drawing a land. How does that change things? So, oh man, this is tough. Okay, so they're going to play Arid Mesa, and they're going to have Searing Blaze open. So that's, I guess it like doesn't really do anything to Death Shadow. I guess they could Helix. So what if we fetch down to 11, play Death Shadow, traverse for another Death Shadow, and then they go to Helix our Shadow, we can cycle Street Wraith and then just block? Yeah, and so I either take 2 from cycling Street Wraith or from just fetching a Swamp. Maybe I just fetch Swamp, cycle Street Wraith, play Death Shadow. Oh no, I have to do that to traverse anyway. So yeah, I have to get Swamp. So this way we sacrifice any red cards that we might draw, but we get to cycle a Street Wraith. So I think that's helpful. Fatal Push is nice. We are definitely going to take the... well, not definitely. So what happens? We go to 7. They have Boros Charm, Searing Blaze in hand for relevant cards. We can push, play Death Shadow, and Thoughtseize them next turn. And this is a 6/6. I guess alternatively we could Thoughtseize them, hit them for 8 down to 11, and then have lethal. Yeah, so this is kind of a risky line. I think I like this, though. So we Thoughtseize Burrow's Charm down to 5. They have Searing Blaze and 2 Eidolons left. So hit you for 8, puts you to 11. Next turn we have lethal with Fatal Push. And we have these Tarmogoyfs, but whatever. Don't need them. This game is like the perfect example of why this deck is sweet. Why this deck is sweet and why their deck is sweet. And just like why this matchup is sweet. Okay, so they play Eidolon. I think we have lethal. So we can push this. So we could go Bobble, push this. That makes these 12, yeah. Information, Bobble you. Please don't crash my game. Tilt. Alright, Stubbs. Brutalites. Anger Pulse are pretty medium. Liliana's pretty medium. Not a huge fan of K-Command or Street Wraith, but... just any 3-mana card is so expensive, and yeah, going into this game we have to remember to get Watery Grave at some point, if we can possibly do that. So Watery Grave, Stomping Ground is probably the combination we're looking for. I guess a Veil. Street Wraith does have its uses, like that game where they tried to Helix my Death Shadow and I just saved it. Save it for free. But those situations are pretty few and far between. And now we know what we're up against, so we can mulligan appropriately, which is nice. So this hand has Disruption. If this were a Tarfire, we'd be able to get Delirium, but it is not. Our opponent is on 6 cards. That's fine. Like, if they're boarding in like Path to Exiles and stuff, then it is much better for me, especially when they mulligan, just because they're not really going to have enough burn to actually close the game out. So there's one ugly mountain. Alright, basic Swamp is kind of nice. I think we just lead on Inquisition. Spike, Eidolon, another Swift Spear. So we can't clear both threats next turn. So what is better for me? This is kind of the nightmare scenario where no matter what, they're going to end their turn with 2 threats. So if I take Eidolon, they get to go Swift Spear, Lava Spike. Hit me for 7 down to 12. And then my Thoughtseize doesn't do anything. So yeah, I guess I want to take Swift Spear. And then they'll play Eidolon, we push it, which is like the 2 that we would take. And then we can like take 1 less from a Thoughtseize, but we'd have to fetch an untapped duel to do that, so maybe that's not even worth it. Magic is difficult. Difficult. I mean, the upside is like we take a point, I guess, to Thoughtseize because we go fetch, or no, we take, yeah, we take 1 because we're going to take 1 to fetch anyway. So we would end up taking 4 to get rid of this Lava Spike, so we're -1 damage, but if they have a better card, we could take it. But better card is Boros Charm, which is just break even, and if it's like an Eidolon or something, we have another removal spell where we take 2. Oh man. Yeah, just taking Eidolon. They drew Advantage, which means they still have a Mesa. And we drew a Dead Thoughtseize. Oh no. Oh dear. This is one of those games where if we're on the play, it's just completely different. K command is not bad. We can snipe a draw step at some point. I don't think there's really any downside to using my removal spell on my turn. I don't think they're supposed to fetch there. Maybe they sighted out their Searing Blazes, though. So I feel like I have to fetch Watery Grave, even though I don't really want to show them I have it, but... And this is likely not going to work out for me. I guess I could K-command them now. Because they have... So if they have a card they can't cast, K-command gets it. If they have an instant they can cast, K-command's not going to get it from their hand anyway. So worst case scenario is like they draw an instant, I K-command, they use it to save their Swiftspear. At least now, okay, they had a path. Whoa. How do you not path your Swiftspear there? That's bizarre. Magma Jet, wow. Okay. Really need to draw a Bauble. Bauble, and then Traverse for a threat, and during their upkeep, draw Stubborn Denial, and maybe we have a chance. And they kept a card on top, which does not bode well for me. And what did we draw? We drew a Fatal Push. That's not great. Stupid Traverse. Riftbolt entered the exile zone. Well, that is a large Death Shadow, at least. So we're going to 1, which means that if we would have taken the other play where we thought seized their Lava Spike, we'd be dead. So every point does matter. They bricked, so we have a hit for 12. Could Traverse for nothing. Well, please just draw a Goblin Guide or something. Well, I'm not immediately dead, so... Okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I am immediately dead. Come on, top deck. Traverse. Ah, Tarfire, where were you? Where were you? You could have saved me. So Stubbs would have been great at any point during that game, so that's good to know. K-Command was nice at clearing out a path. Additional Thought Seizes were not great, but probably better than Street Wraith. And it is possible that I want like an Anger of the Gods on the play or something. So they go 1-2 and then I have Anger, but I would have to take a lot of damage to do it. And I think I'd rather just have Liliana at that point. So we will just submit these 60 cards. I mean, I think I'm keeping this. There's no point in me bobbling myself, so bobble them to see what their top card is. It is a Magma Jet, not super scared of that, nor is that really going to change my decision, so... So they have Eidolon and a bunch of burn spells and a path. So I'm definitely going to want to take this path at some point. So if I take path now and I draw a fetch land, I might just play Tarmogoyf. And then they can play Eidolon if they want to, but it seems pretty bad for them. So yeah, I think I just take path now. And then we'll keep this open. This stuff plus Magma Jet. Come on, top deck. Thoughtseize. And they do Suspend Rift Bolt. Cool. Ooh, we did draw a fetch. So I guess it's green-black. So I'm at 12, which is not a lot. Three card types, missing instant. K-Command counts as instant, but might not get to cast it this game. And just Magma Jet my dome. They are off the Eidolon plan. They're like, this is not going to work out. We just have to burn them out. Ooh, brutality. Ooh. So reveal your hand and get drained. I think I just discard the K command. Oh, well, never mind. I was thinking I was escalating it twice. So they have Spike. And they did keep a card on top, which could be a land. So the thing I'm worried about is not being able to snipe anything with Inquisition. So like if they have a spell on top and I take a Lava Spike, they can't cast both their spells. But I guess if they kept a spell on top, then I would get to hit something anyway. So I guess I should just take the card that deals the most damage. So now I'm at 12 and have a little buffer, which is nice. I really should have discarded that K command, though, so that I would have Delirium and could traverse for Death Shadow next turn. What just happened? What did they do? Oh, they just Boros Charmed me. So they have Spike Eidolon? So I could pump my Goyf once. But I don't think that really does anything. I think I just want to take their burn spells. Eidolon is just kind of a brick. So I guess this worked out. Oh, stupid K command. Alright, so they take that down to 5. I'm really in no position to be casting any spells, so I'm going to go ahead and not do that. And they're at 5, so they can't fetch. But it does mean If I draw a land, then I can K-command the Eidolon to deal them the extra point. So maybe I should have traversed for a swamp? Is that realistic? That leads me dead to Boros Charm. Or like if they draw another creature. If they draw another creature, they're attacking me with Eidolon, and then I can K-command that and kill them. If they draw a path, it's kind of a nightmare. But now, if I draw a land, I'm good. Did not draw a land, drew a Traverse. Okay. So now they have to chump block. Now my Goyf's a 5. Now I can traverse. Well, it's a 6, I guess. Now I'll traverse for swamp and play it. And now we have K-command next turn, but... yeah, traverse was not active in games 2 or 3. Magma Jet me. So unless you draw a path, you're basically drawing dead. And if you have a path, I get to potentially get your next 2 draw steps. Maybe even burn them out with these 2 K-commands. Who knows? But yeah. Comes up short. Dies the Tarmogoyf. Cool.